Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm starting a little vlog where I'm reading all the finalists for the listeners novel prize 2023, which is hosted by NRK, which is like the national free TV in Norway. And the only reason I'm doing this is because it is a live book club at my library and I'm gonna join. So I had to read all of them and I was like, well, then we make a vlog, you know. Content. I didn't know this reward existed. I'll say that first. One of my co-workers posted about it, asked if people want to join, where they I think meet once a month and I talk about 2 of the books and then like we read all of them and like you kind of commit. If you committed, then you can pull out. You have to read all of them. And I was like, I saw it, I was like, that sounds like something I could do because, you know, that's what I do. And I was like, oh, but then I need to go out there in person. And I was like, nah. But then I thought about it some more and I was like, it seems kind of fun. The only thing that kept me more back also is that we read Norwegian novels. And I personally find a lot of the time that I don't enjoy them as much. It's not my genre. The way they are written is like in a certain way. What they are about certain things. And I just like don't find that much interest in them usually. I feel like I'm gonna come to the book club and be like, I hated everything. And everyone's gonna be like, oh, this was so touching. And I'm like, well, I just didn't care. I'm gonna obviously be as positive as possible and have an open mind. I just feel like it's gonna happen. We are reading, is it 6 books? I have the file list here in front of me. Yes, it's 6 books. I actually already read all of them because I already owned it. I think I was going to talk about that maybe last in this vlog since like I read it and then I will read the other ones first or something. I don't know. I will talk about it at another point. I heard about a couple of them because I work in a bookstore as well and like these are the newest book of the year. So I obviously seen them, no idea what they are about. But no, we're not forced to buy them for the club, by the way. We are a library, so they make those books available for the people joining. I already got 3 of them already because I said it on the day I want to do it, and then the librarian responsible for the whole thing was there and she's just like, here are some of the books, and I was like, oh. And I was intending that I had to go and buy them. If I like some of them, I might buy them. You know, I work in a bookstore and I get, you know, discounts and all that fun stuff. But for now, I have 2 of them bought from the library, which is obviously great as well. And I'm gonna start today. It is New Year's Day today, like the first day of New Year. And I feel like I'm gonna read them all in January, but I feel like we're gonna declare a winner, I think, together or something. I don't know if I will keep the vlog going for that long. I might just post it when I'm done with all the books and I will declare my winner. We shall see. Vlog and YouTube purposes only. So yeah, I think that this is a fun time. So the first one I'm gonna start with today is Bli hos meg by Hanne Ørstavik. This one means stay with me, and I don't know what it's about. I don't even want to know. It says it's a Norwegian author living in Milano. Sometimes she goes to Norway, and then she visits her dad, who is 87 years old. And then she has an Italian boyfriend who gets easily mad. And then I can't read the rest of the synopsis. It's covered by the sticker from the library. All books, not all of them actually, I was thinking. But all the 3 books I got now, they're all like 200 pages or less. Like, it's my reading for the day. I'm blessed. It's 211 pages, I think. I'm gonna read this whole thing today. You shall see me later giving an update of what I thought, I think. Ooh, it started out with an interesting sentence. So yeah, look at me reading so many Norwegian books lately. It is insane. When you work in a library and a bookstore in Norway, it's just, I get so influenced about stuff around me and I just keep picking them up and I'm like, keep not liking them. So we shall see. It would be fun to discuss in person, I think. I haven't done that in school when like you have to talk to people in groups and stuff. I feel like it's gonna be a good time. Good experience. Have to go out and like it's fun to read and talk to people about it. Like that's why I'm here, you know. So yeah, I have also another Norwegian vlog that I've been filming. I feel like that these books should be that vlog, but this is for this thing, and then I would just put other new Norwegian books in the other vlog. There's a lot of Norwegian books, but it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna go and read. See you later. Okay, so this next day, and I did finish Stay With Me, or Bli hos meg, I mean. And this one was about that writer living in Italy, and then she goes back and forth. She's basically just in a toxic relationship, and the whole book is about her being in this toxic relationship. And then it doesn't really go that well. She also talks a bit about like how she had a husband that died, and then the author in real life probably also had a husband that died of the same way, and they started with the first letter. So I feel like this was really personal. I felt like the author also lives apparently in Milano. So I felt like she was writing about herself more than anything. And I'm unsure if it's fiction or not. It would be an interesting thing to discuss in like the book club thing, because I'm like, is it fiction? Because so much of it was like the actual author. And she also had a daughter. And I was like, and actually they talked about Twilight in this one. And I was like, she was comparing her toxic relationship with Adder and Bella. And I was like, where's the law? I thought it was really funny. The writing, the language was really nice. But overall, it was just like another Norwegian novel. A FAES in a certain, I don't know how to describe the atmosphere in these, but they all feel the same. And I don't know yet if that's an atmosphere I enjoy. I enjoy them when they're a bit more dramatic and chaotic, more like shitty people, I guess. That's what I enjoy. And I read like 2 on the top of my head Norwegian books last year where they're like, oh no, it's not last year anymore. The year before that then, in 2022. Whereas they were more like over the top, like really shitty people, and I enjoy that much more. This is more like, I'm looking at my life, staring on, like you staring in the window. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm gonna start a nice book today, which is also really short. This one is called Jeg plystrer I den mørke vinden. Sorry.
Whistling.
It's like, I am whistling in the dark wind. This is so stupid. By Maria Navarro Staranger. It's really, really short. I cannot read this font. I didn't know what this was titled because we obviously had it in my store. Until I read the spine where the actual title is. It was really funny because the other day when I was at work, I said to a person that I was working with, can you read this title? And he was like, no. And then literally days later, now I actually have to read a book. So I was just looking at this book. I feel like it's very much the same vibes as the last one. Ugh. It's fine. It's not like the books, by the way, are bad. It's just that certain, like, atmosphere is really like, do I care? Okay. This apparently is about a character that was a side character in the author's last novel, which I obviously haven't read, so yay for that. She's crocheting, she's watching TV. She has a daughter, but otherwise she doesn't do much. But then she apparently ends up in a car accident and starts acting strange. And then we look into that. Can you read the title for this on the cover?
Let me see.
Yeah, but there's also a sticker.
Yeah, but let me see.
Erica wants to look at the book. But yeah, so I'm going to read that today. It's really short, so obviously I will read the whole thing. I'm soon going to work, and then I have a live show later, so we'll see how much time, but like, I think it will be just enough time to read that book. So yeah, I will let you know what happens. See you soon. So last night, I did finish my book, which is still in my backpack. I can't get it out. Here it is. The finish. I whistle in the dark wind. And it was interesting. It's the word I'm going to use. Interesting. I don't know how to describe the book, honestly. It was about this. I wasn't even going to call her old, but like an old woman, like she has a grandchild, etc. But she's not like old. Not that anything is wrong with being old, just saying. She's up in the years. And she struggles a lot, I would say. She is not well mentally, but I don't think she has the complete awareness that she is not well. And the whole book is about like going into her past and like what she's been through, and like when she started to get unwell, and about her daughter and getting a child, and like basically raising her alone, and just about her life in general, how she lives and how she's chilling. I'd say it kind of said the synopsis a bit in the last clip. That's kind of the whole book. And then it turns a bit in the end, which I'm not going to spoil, but I was like, I think I should have expected it, but I didn't expect it. And then the book ended. It was really short, like 190 pages. Like all of these are quite short. Not all, but 4 out of 6 are short of these. And then I just sat there like, okay. I don't know. I feel like I like this more than the last one. I feel like this was written in a way that I found very engaging. But at the same time, I was a bit confused sometimes because we were jumping a bit. But not as much as in the last one. There was a lot of jumping and I did not know which country we were in. Okay? But it was a bit sad. But I don't know if did I fully understand it? I don't know. I'm curious to talk about it. I guess I said it with like other people. But like I was unsure about like what was going on. Like I just thought at first she was like just chilling and being a bit weird, but then it turned out to be much more than that. And then it just ended, and I was like, oh. So like, not bad. I enjoyed it a bit. I think I like gave the first one Stay With Me like 3 stars. I would give this maybe 3.5. But I feel like this is a book I might think about more. Like, it would come to my head and I'm like, So if that continues to happen, I will like probably give it a higher rating. I don't know. It was interesting though. Like definitely, if someone asked me like, "Did you enjoy it?" I'm like, "Yes," but it was a bit strange. But more in like the ropes of what I enjoy. So take that as you will. Now I have my next book, which is Odal by Dordeström. I don't know what Odal is. Is it a name? Is it a thing? No idea. It says Pagarden. It is in the other Norwegian language, not bokmål. It is in nynorsk, because we have two written ones. If you didn't know, I just love how it's written. It says that they live on a farm, and one of the kids is named Odal, and has a daughter named Liv. Who Liv's father is, no one talks about. And then some hunters come from the forest or something. Not like to hunt them. They just like come and they're gonna talk about like when they hunt. Oh, what's it called? Dare? Is that what it's called in English? I don't know. And then Uda disappears. And then Liv, who is the daughter, is trying to look for her. What? That sounds super strange. It's like a 150-page long book, so we're gonna see what happens. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna read that today. Let you know what happens. I have no idea. Let's go. I guess I'm about to, sorry, clearing my throat, go to work at the library. So I'm going to deliver back the books that I got. So I was like, well, I need to talk about this book now. Wait, where is the book? It's like many books in a pile. I read Ulan, as I said yesterday, by Dordeström. I didn't get it. It was weird. It's very short. It felt kind of like a fever dream. And it's about this... like the mother goes missing, but I don't think she goes actually missing is the one word. She just kind of leaves, and then this character Liv, her daughter, is trying to find her or have these fantasies of where she is. I didn't really understand anything, honestly. I was just like, what's going on? No idea. And as I said, it was really short, like 150 pages, and I honestly don't know what I read. I was like, what? So yeah, that's what I got, honestly. Like, I don't think I rated it very low, because how can I rate a book high that I like didn't love? I don't know. But yeah, I can now deliver all of these back. There's 3 more books, but one I already read, so there's 2 more books. Oh my god. Also stuff fell on the floor, but it's fine. One of them I already got as an ebook on my phone. The other one I just need to get. Maybe it is available today when I go up there. And the last one I already read. So yeah, maybe this vlog can come up like in the next 2 weeks. Would be great. Okay, so honestly, that was a terrible review, because I honestly don't know what to say. The language was fascinating, but I feel like in that discussion, I want to sit there like, I'm so glad that you guys understand, because I don't. Okay, see you later. Hello. I was in Oslo last week, and then I finished the second to last book for this vlog, and I just never filmed a clip about it, obviously. I read it on my phone, because obviously I didn't want to bring books to Oslo when I bought other books, and I don't have it physically, but it is Godset by Signe Holm, and this one is a debut by this, I think she's Danish, but then she wrote it in Norwegian and wanted to publish it in Norwegian. And it follows this young woman, I think, or maybe she's not young, middle-aged woman, that brothers is in a hospital, and then she reflects about how her brother came into her life, which was like, I think her father cheated, and then the woman was pregnant, and then the woman just lived with them until she gave birth, and then she died. So they had to obviously take care of the child. And both her parents are really distant, and then her brother has different issues. I think he might be schizophrenic, but they don't know for sure, I think. And right now, like in the future, he is in a hospital. And then she's just reflecting upon like her husband, and she calls like people with like animal names. And then she's just like reflecting upon like wanting children. She seems a bit, I was gonna say, unhinged as well. And then she has like this long spiral of thoughts that kind of never runs, and you don't really understand what's going on, because like there's just long spirals of thoughts, and I didn't really get them. I'm not saying the book was necessarily bad, but I didn't really love it either. It was like, okay, I found it a bit confusing and hard to follow, honestly. Like, it was just, in the beginning, I was really into the story, and then it kind of lost me because it just kept spiraling, which I guess maybe is the point of the book, but it was just too many spirals, which made me not enjoy it as much, and I ended up like not feeling that keen towards the book overall. It was very weird. It felt like a bit like a fever dream, a bit like Odell as well. I felt really distant and weird and off-putting, which is again maybe the point, but I feel like it didn't hit. It had nice passages, but overall for the story, I don't really see. I struggled seeing the full picture, so I ended up like not loving it. And yeah, I will wrap up, rank, whatever in the end, I think, and then I'll have more thoughts then or whatever. I don't really have that much more to say because it was trying to reflect, but I didn't understand all the reflections, so I ended up with like feeling like, what was the point? I honestly don't know. So yeah, that's what I got, and yay. I finished the next book for this vlog, and I realized that I hadn't filmed a vlog clip, and I'm about to return it to the library. So I was like, well, I want to hold the book once in a vlog, so I'm gonna do that. It is I can't even say the word in Norwegian. Lungeflyteprøve, which is the long floating test, which is about this young girl that lived in the 1600s that was accused from killing her baby, and then we have like her trial and like what happened. It's based on real historical events. It's like the first historical book from the author Tore Renberg, and I read it. I don't know what more to say. Like I didn't really like love it. I was kinda bored. I didn't like the way it was written. It didn't feel like a consistent story. I just kind of didn't care. Like it was like the way it was written made me feel so distant from the story that I couldn't connect even like with this poor girl and everything she went through. It's kind of like a commentary on like how women were treated, especially like when they were accused of stuff in this time, and how like the right system was. But like I kind of, part of me is like, obviously it was facts, like why well, I don't know, obviously it's important to write about, but it's just the way this was written just didn't work at all for me. It made it be a very boring story while it should have been very interesting and eye-opening and real. It just made me feel very disconnected, and I was just like snoozing through the whole thing almost because I was just like, oh my god, just like kind of get to the point. I just like didn't care about a lot of the story. Like the only parts I care about was when we actually follow the girl Anne, and like Anna actually, what she was accused of, and like when we were with her and like all the trauma she went through. I care about her, and then the rest just felt nothing for. And I don't even know what to rate it, honestly. It was just not a book for me, but people really love this book, so I'm very curious to see for the book club of how people feel. There was like a terrible review. I don't have much more to say, but honestly, like I haven't been loving a lot of these. I read this, and now I just realized I read all of them, but I just haven't uploaded this vlog. So I will let you know very soon about all thoughts and like wrap up or something. Either way, you will see me soon. Yay, bye. Okay, time to wrap up this vlog and talk about the last book for it, which was Da vi var yngre by Oliver Lorenski. This one I read for another Norwegian blog, which is coming later, and it is a young boy who has written this. He was only 19 when he wrote it, and he wrote about growing up in like the, I was gonna say, what's it called, gang era, the rough era of Oslo. And then he just wrote about like that environment, etc., and growing up there, and the heartbreaks and heart aches from that time, as well as like involving like drugs, etc. And it has a really like different kind of language in it that people really have enjoyed, and people have really been loving this book. I read it, and I met the author who was like the nicest guy, but I personally like didn't love the book. I think it's a well-written book that has solid moments, but for me it didn't feel like a novel. It felt like a group of poems that kind of hung together, and I struggle a bit with that style because for me it was like promoted as like the next novel of this generation, and then like it wasn't even a novel for me, even though obviously novels can be written in different manners and I understand that, but it just didn't like get to me in a way I think that it got to a lot of other people. And then overall like the story wasn't like that interesting, even though I guess it is based on his life and his real events, etc. But I just like, as a novel, because obviously he says it's fiction or whatever, it didn't feel as engaging as I would like. So I ended up like not loving it as much, and I felt really like a bit mid about it, which is a bit sad to say because I wanted to really, really love it. And I thought I would really love it, but I just didn't, sadly. I would recommend it, and I can definitely see a lot of people loving it, and a lot of people have loved it. But personally, like, it's not a book that would forever be my favorite, but it is one that brings memories. Like, I have it personally. Oops, that's my receipt that I like to keep. Like, I have it personally assigned to me. So I think that's cool. I'm excited to see what the author read right next. That is it for all the books for this nominees for Lytterens romanpris, or the listeners' novel prize for 2023. We are not meeting once a month, by the way. We are meeting, like, we met on this Monday and then we're meeting next Monday, because we realized, like, when they announced their winner, we want to do ours before. So the whole point is that we, like, vote forward our winner, and then they do obviously the official winner, and then I will have my winner in this vlog. First meeting was great, by the way. I feel like I understood much more of the first two books we talked about in the first meeting, and it was lovely people there, and I was just like, shit, this is like a proper book discussion. Not like I haven't been in any, but I was like, oh, I felt a bit intimidated. But then I slowly, like, I was gonna say, got my bearings, because I was just unsure, because they all knew each other and they didn't know me, and I got nervous, but then they were just the nicest people. And I got my footing, and I was like, okay, but I know how to talk about books. I was literally to myself, I was like, why are you being so shy, Sandra? This is what you do. This is the one thing you're good at, is to talk about books. And then I broke out of my shell, and we had a good time. I didn't actually, like, break anything. I felt like a lot of these, I've noticed, is a trend in Norwegian books. Is that a lot of them write about their own lives for some reason, and I don't understand. Like, it's just a thing. But either way, a winner, a loser. No, it's no losers. I'm so sorry. Okay, so let's rank my 6. So on the 6th place, the bottom place, I will put Odell. I didn't understand a shit out of this book, and we're gonna have the discussion on this in a few days. I might have understood more after the fact, but I'm talking from my own, I was gonna say, heart here, not influenced by anything else. 5th place is going to lungeflyteprøven, because I thought I would love it. I felt tricked, and I'm joking a bit. I absolutely, like, it was so boring, and I didn't like how it was written. It was like I was listening to, like, an old, like, landowner tell me the story of his farm or something, and I was just like, what is going on? It wasn't even about a farm, that's not the point, but it's just, no, it did not work. I just hated the tone of the story, and I'm excited to tell everyone. And then on 4th place, I will put Gutsa, because this one was also super weird, didn't really understand much, but I liked it more than Lungeflyteprøven. And I am excited to see what the author will write next, because the author really had a good voice. Just she needed a better editor to put in all her thoughts together, because it was too much of a whirlwind for me. So then we have, on 3rd place, I will take, oh god, now it became a bit hard, Bli hos meg, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed the story overall. It was more understandable, but it was too much focus on that relationship that I didn't really care for. It was really funny to discuss this relationship with the other people. Don't know. I felt like I had good reflections, and it was a well-written book, but it's still not, like, amazing. And then I would put Lorenski on the 2nd place, which has, like, while I felt like I was gonna love it more, I don't think it's a bad book. I put it in the 2nd place because it was enjoyable for what it was. But it's also, I think, to do with that I don't think really highly of any of these, which sounds really bad. I just mean, like, I didn't find any of these to be like, oh my god, a favorite forever, oh my god, I loved it, or anything like that. I just felt really like they were fine, good novels. If people ask me, I would be like, yeah, it was good, but, like, I will forget, you know? Which means that on the 1st place, I will put A Whistle in the Dark Wind, just because it was odd, but it was the one I've been thinking the most about. And the ending was, like, a bit shocking, true, but this one is the one I'm most excited to talk about. And the one with, like, a bit funnier tone, which I enjoyed. This made me curious to read the author's other books. And for the other authors, it made me, I mean, obviously, Lorenski doesn't have any others, but, like, it made me be like, check out the author's other works, because I know she has other works in the past. That's what I mean. It made me curious to, like, want to read those. That says a lot. And the others, I'm like, I'm not sure. Obviously, I might pick up something else by the author of Godse Sing the Home, but she only had one. But we shall see. It's the winner because it was weird, and I guess I like the main character and the story the most of all of them. And I think I gave it, like, a 4. So yeah, but I still feel like it sounds weird, because yes, it is a 4, and yes, I would recommend it if people ask me and all that. But even reading all of these, and I'm in, like, a store and people ask me for recommendations for Norwegian books, none of these would come first into mind. I think maybe the last one, like Please don't make you in. Depends obviously a lot what they would want, but I have so many others I would probably recommend. I'm not saying that all of these books are bad, it's just I'm just trying to explain that I felt mid about all of them, or nothing. And that I feel like the judges on this panel have a very certain one type of taste. Because I looked at the other years of who has won and been nominated, and it's just very interesting to see a pattern. And that's all I got to say about it. But it was really interesting. Fun to read new Norwegian books to see what's in now in literature. They all, as I said, had the same atmosphere, like kind of tone of a story that I can't explain. But they remind me of each other. But they don't, but they do. Like the market in Norwegian literature, I notice is like a certain pattern. And it's very interesting to observe. But there's some really good books out there. I am not in denial of that. And yeah, I was going to take you down, but I was like, why? That's what I got. I'm sorry I shrinked. I just was too lazy to see it properly. That's what I've reflected on today and this vlog, and I hope you enjoyed. I felt really mean. I felt like I was very negative. I'm saying that I can recommend them definitely, some of them, okay? Just, they weren't favorite compared to other books I read that I absolutely love. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm gonna go. I just talked myself into a ditch, I think. I'm gonna go, and I hope you enjoyed. Leave a ear emoji down below if you enjoyed this, because it's the listener's prize, and you should see me soon in a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. It would be interesting, instead of leaving, that I told you what we voted forward in the club as a winner, but I'm too lazy for that. Goodbye.